ugliest guest I've ever spoken to on this show.
Yeah.
That's going to go viral.
That's going to do it.
Who was your most awkward guest?
It's always awkward. Like, that makes me a bad mom because I interviewed Drake on my daughter's first birthday.
I would interview Drake on my daughter's first birthday and throw a party separately.
Zaza, when you're older and you hear this, your mother would leave you, but your father would never leave you.
I was not afraid to look stupid. I wasn't afraid to look desperate. At no point has this ever been something that's supposed to be a good podcast. It's a podcast. I was putting out 10, 15, 20 videos a day, getting no views. I had a thing that was like, if in 24 hours it doesn't go viral, it gets deleted.
She's not an industry plant, you guys.
But we don't know that, Lauren, to be honest.
I don't think she is.
They're jealous. They're bitter. They have nothing going for them, or they wouldn't be on the internet criticizing people. Like, okay, you. Like, you did not need to go there.
I feel like everyone with your name, and even on this brief, says the word viral everywhere. But I'm just going to take a guess that in your shoes, it doesn't feel like you went viral. Like, I feel like it's a slow build, if I'm guessing.
I don't know. There's so many levels. I like how we're just automatically like, and I am like, my voice changes and everything. Like, I feel like there are a lot of levels to going viral, though. Okay, you have a hair that is going to bother me.
You can get the hair.
I'm like,
I don't want that for the reels.
there you go. Okay.
Usually someone's fixing my hair, but...
No, it's yourself.
Yeah, it's yourself. Your hair is so stuck to your...
No, it's not. Today, today I just push it back. No combing.
It doesn't look like it. Does not look effortless. I'm sorry.
It's effortless.
Okay, so it doesn't, like, when you say viral, what do you mean there's a lot of different levels? Explain it.
There's, TikTok viral, where you kind of just are viral on the app. I would say you're on TikTok and everyone on TikTok is talking about you, but it never leaves that platform. And then I think there's another level to it where you go viral all over the internet and you're kind of, and then mainstream news is picking it up and stuff. So I think there's levels. So I think that prior to my big going viral, I had just gone TikTok viral,
So what were you doing to even go TikTok viral in the first place? Like, what was your first pieces of content?
Just me doing parodies of being a bad mom. So I was just talking. I was really just trying. I wanted to go viral. No, I wanted to so bad. So I was like, I need to figure out what to do. And that's kind of just what worked. And so I just kept doing it. And then it grew into a podcast.
What makes a bad mom? I can't wait to hear.
I don't know I was just thinking of the most outrageous things that mothers would never actually do. But I was like, what is the most outrageous thing? And people I realized were so gullible, they'll believe anything.
So give me some examples.
Just saying, if my daughter's, I showed my daughter a lot in the beginning, but I would show her and be like, my daughter's teeth are growing in crooked, so I'm taking her to get braces, and she was 6 months old. And it's like, people are like, how dare you do that to her? That's so fucked up. And I was like, they're so gullible.
So they just all believed it.
Yeah.
Is that sort of where your shtick came in? Is you're like, these people are so gullible, like, I'm just going to continue it?
Yeah, they pretty much. And then it was cool because there was the people who got it and loved being in on the joke. And then there were the people who didn't get it. And that was really where the virality came from, I would say. Just all the people who didn't get what was going on. But I would hashtag parody at the end of 10 hashtags. I tried to hide it. I was like, I want some people to, I want the people who are, I think, who have common sense to understand. I think I'll give them a little like here, but everybody else who doesn't look into
That's
things,
a tall order on the internet to look for common sense.
Yeah, they don't, there is a good amount that have it. I like those people. Those are my favorite people.
You could
of the
name
internet.
your account Bobbi's Parody and they would
still believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's some people, a lot of people on the internet who just are so stupid.
It's out.
It's like, what word should I use? That's
sometimes
accurate.
I'm like, what?
I know.
Like, it's a self-awareness, lacking.
They don't have that.
What point did you go mainstream when you started your podcast?
Yeah, yeah. It was probably a few episodes into my podcast. But when I interviewed Marco, it took off. I've been just winging this from day one. I'm still winging it. I kind of, I'm working on hiring a producer now, so I think that I'll wing it a little bit less once that happens. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just something that hasn't really been done in the form of a podcast.
Yeah.
I think you've cracked a formula where you've created something very unique that stands out. And a lot of people are looking and trying to figure out how to go viral. And you figured out how to kind of do it in a way that was different than what other people would expect, which is why I think it works.
Mm-hmm.
And we do, this show for a long time. And I would say like, there's a lot of big names that go in a lot of different places, but I think it's the rarity of the guest and how few interviews they do. And then the difference in form. Like anyone can talk to the same person over and over the same way, but I think the way you did it was so unique.
Yeah. I would say too, my podcast started because, and this is no offense to you guys because you guys have a podcast, but I was like, everyone has a podcast and it's just,
We get it.
it's what everyone does. And I was like, I used to think it was the stupidest thing people did was like, oh, they're starting a podcast. Like so-and-so announces they have a podcast. I was like, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to offer this? I don't know. There's so many. Every single
we
person.
do play a part in.
No, but they come to Michael and they go, I want to be the next blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And the thing that you did differently is I feel like you didn't do that.
I immediately started it as like, I knew podcast made a lot of money. You guys know that.
Hence the mattress. But
yeah, exactly. You guys know a thing about that. So I was like, I want a podcast, but since everybody has a podcast, how do I differentiate mine from everybody else's podcast? And that's how the idea came. And so I tried to base it on my favorite podcast. I listened to one in my life, and it was Guy Raz, How I Built This. And I was like, let me interview rich people and figure out how they got there. So that's what it started off as. But then I remember having a thought of like, what celebrity is going to want to come on a podcast called So You're Rich? Because that's so tone deaf of them to go on that. So I was like, I need to change the name. So that's how it became. It was just a parody of a good podcast, which people are like, this podcast is not really good. And I'm like, you think you're doing something with that? I know it's not good. It's not supposed to be good. At no point has this ever been something that's supposed to be a good podcast. It's a shitty podcast. I don't research my guests. I show up like we both show up and we're just like, all right, let's just see what happens. And I don't know. Yeah, there's no formula to making it a good.
That's like it's funny because like obviously I do this show, but then on the other side of it is we work with people that are trying to do versions of what we or you or others have done. And like what I always say is if you come in and you're just like, I'm another version of that thing, it's like my eyes kind of glaze over because it's like that thing already happened.
I mean, I think it's the same. Podcasts are the same as, if you're an entrepreneur launching a new product and you're going to ask, what does your product, why is it different than other people's? And it's podcasts. A lot of people just come out with a podcast that's very similar to every other podcast. And it's like, why would anyone watch yours then? So I didn't want that. I didn't want to have a podcast that flopped. But I actually at no point did I ever think that my podcast would not do well. There was not even a question of it from the first minute.
You come on here, you say things like you're winging it. I know about you. I do my research. You are much more clever than
I know. I was
you
going to say,
are.
there's a lot of like little breadcrumbs that you just left in there where I feel like there's like a business mind in here.
Like
there
I
is
said,
a business mind in it for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I guess there is.
No, what I think is cool about you is it's a mix. Like I feel like you're mellow, and what I think is cool about your generation is there's like a casualness to it that's not our generation. I don't really know how to put my finger on it. It's like you guys are like more chill and relaxed, but you do also have a business mind. So it's like you mix that together. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's laziness mixed with a little bit of, okay, I want money and I need to figure out how to provide for me and my kids forever. So I don't know. I guess I started off, my first job ever was at Sonic, and then I worked at Jersey Mike's, and I've worked so many and then I was a nanny for 6 years. And then when the pandemic started, I lost my job as a nanny because they were stuck at home and everyone was really scared. And I was pregnant, so it was not a great idea for
Were
me
you
to
here?
be in LA, yeah. And then I started selling masks on Etsy, and I like sewing them myself. And I remember making $3,000. I made so many masks. I was up all night while I was 8
COVID
months
masks.
pregnant. Yeah, because the CDC announced that you had to have a cloth mask, and I was like, oh, they're probably making money off of those cloth masks. How do I make? So I got on Etsy. I went to Target. My mom had bought me a sewing machine that I never had sewed anything on, but I knew how to sew kinda. So I watched a tutorial on YouTube of how to make a cloth mask. I went to Target, bought bed sheets, cut them up into like the size of masks, and I just started making them. And then the sewing machine had an embroidery feature, really shitty embroidery, but I was like, oh, $5 extra and you can get your name embroidered on it and I'll ship it to you overnight. But because of that, I was getting and I also wouldn't cap my sales because I was like, I don't care if this means I never sleep. I just want to. And then I remember being like, me and my dad were like, this could be a business. You could, what's crazy is people, I'm pretty sure what's that one brand, like Kitsch? Did they start making masks? I feel like I've never seen them before. They like grew from that. Some people did.
A lot of companies
careers off of COVID.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could have, but I kind of was like, all right, I am so pregnant. I need to. And then I had my baby and I was like, I'm not going to stay up all night anymore. So masks, this is crazy. But then I knew I needed to catch the TikTok wave. So that's kind of where that was born. Me and my sister would talk on the phone every day. I had a newborn and I was like, how do we do it? Look at all these people going viral. Like, how do we get there? How do I do that? We were posting. I tried to make it a sister account at first. It was called Bobbi and Lexi. She would not do her half. I was like, post. I post, you post. We got to keep this up. We need to go viral. Clean your house. Do anything. I was trying anything. I did how to become a nanny. I was giving tips on the internet to 5 people because that's how many views it got of how to become a nanny. I was just so desperate to have something take off because I thought it was so unfair that there were so many influencers getting so many free things. And I was like, how the fuck do I get that too? I want that.
I love these stories though because it's an example of somebody that if you just put in a little bit of work and you aren't afraid to put yourself out there, like what can happen? Because you built such a massive thing now from just kind of throwing yourself out there. And like we've been doing this a long time in different capacities. And when people come and say like they look like what's the magic formula to go viral or how do you build an online? I'm like you just have to start doing this. You have to just
do it, and then also don't be afraid of looking stupid. Because I know for me in the beginning, and I know a lot of my friends, what stops them is, oh, well, what about our friends that see this? And I'm not friends with any of the people who I went to high school with that I originally cared about seeing. Like, oh, what if they see how many videos I put up that get no views? Because I was putting out 10, 15, 20 videos a day, getting no views. And I thought it was so cringe, but I was like, well, whatever. I would delete them, of course, after a day because I didn't want to leave a history of me failing. I was not going to let them see that for long. But I had a thing that was like, if in 24 hours it doesn't go viral, it gets deleted. And then once I started going viral, it was every single day I needed to have one video hit 1 million views or it gets deleted. And I would be up all night being like, all right, I haven't gotten 1 million views yet. I haven't. And it would drive me crazy if I didn't get one to hit 1 million views every day. And I did that for 3 years almost. Yeah, 3 years.
How are you doing this with a baby? Like, were you just...
They sleep so much. Like, that's all. So baby wearing, once I had my second kid, just had her in a baby carrier all day long and would just, when my first kid was napping, I would be up there thinking of skits and just trying to figure out what to do. And I had a lot of help from my husband too. He helped me watch the kids and stuff because, when he was working, he would baby wear sometimes and I would just sit there and think of skits.
So you just made it work until it worked.
Yeah, but I was so determined. And I feel like a lot of people who know me in real life say that once I get determined to do something, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And I feel like that's the one. I'm very stubborn about what I know I can do, even if it's going to take me a really long time. And I'm going to be depressed during it because it's not happening.
I think you said it earlier, though. You're like, I never didn't think I was not going to go viral.
Oh, yeah. I knew it was gonna work. I can't remember a time of me thinking when I started the podcast, oh, this might not work. It was a matter of how to get it to work. I wasn't sure.
I mean, that is a really important trait. So many people I know will like put up a podcast episode and they'll get to 50 and they'll stop.
Or like even running this business, you'll have people start and they'll get to like a year and it's not really where they want it to be and then they quit. And I'm like, and then I see the people that stick around for longer periods of time and it's like this exponential growth that they start to get.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it's weird. For whatever reason, the internet's the one place where people feel like, oh, I'm going to do this for like 3 or 4 months. And if I don't become the biggest star in the world, then like I fail and I quit. And I don't know, it just takes a long fucking time.
It does. And you have to also know when you're failing and know when to change stuff.
You're no stranger to this. How do you deal with criticism online?
Especially as what?
Especially as someone with young kids.
Yeah.
And like they're dissecting. And like when you do go, I think when you're isolated to TikTok, it might feel safe or isolated to certain platforms.
Do you think TikTok feels safe?
It feels safer because you can definitely control it a little bit more too. Okay. I don't know. When you're just on TikTok too, not a lot of people are talking about you. I feel like I'm at a point where I will do the most random. Sometimes I do stuff and no one cares. Sometimes I do stuff and it's like, I'll look and it's like, I don't even know now. I can't think of any news agency, but there'll be like actual magazines that post stuff about it. And I'm like, why does people care that I said this random? I'll address my haters sometimes, and it'll be people will pick it up, and I'm like, oh God, I need to be more careful of what I put out there.
What I was saying is like, think about it. Like you're in TikTok, it's familiar. It's a kind of a familiar audience and demo, and then it crosses over and goes more mainstream. And even people like myself, and like obviously I'm not your target demo, I see some of the things you're doing. So that gets much bigger and you get much more visibility. And then all of a sudden you have these people that have never commented about you commenting. That must feel strange, I imagine.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't know. I feel like I definitely hear from a lot of people who are so much bigger than I will ever be, that they don't read their comments and they just don't listen to that. And I'm like, I can't wait to maybe get there one day where I just don't care. But I definitely am not there yet. I read every time. If I see my face on my For You page, I click it and I'm like, what did you guys have to say about me? And I'm like, oh, you guys are so mean. And it's like, first of all, I know you guys would never say this to my face. Well, maybe one of you would because you're that much of an asshole. But these people have so many opinions. And I think the ones that get me the most are the ones that I think it's like an insecurity that I already had, and then somebody says it and I'm like, okay, fuck you. Like, you did not need to go there.
Like what?
I don't know. Just when my face looks really bad because I get bad filler and people all have something to say about it. I'm like, fuck you.
Your
okay?
face doesn't look like you have bad filler.
Okay, I didn't think so right now, but also the comments are gonna say that for sure. I feel like it's like, but
your
the comments
face looks
will
natural and pretty.
I could have. They swear I have cheek filler in my cheeks right now, and it's like a bit. I'm like, I have chubby cheeks. Look back at any photo of me, but things like that where I'm like,
you look in person.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know what they're talking about with video, but in person, you do not look like you have bad filler at all, or a lot of filler in your face.
They are very well. So after when I did this video haunts me, but I did the Forbes interview right after I had just had a little bit of lip filler put in, and I hated it. So I tried to have it dissolved, but I had to go to someone else because, you know, if you get it, you can't dissolve it that quickly. But I was like, let me just lie to this next person, say I didn't get it.
I mean, the person who did it won't do it, won't take it out that soon.
Yeah, because they can't, they're not going to take it out that fast. So if anything, you have to just lie and say you didn't. I don't,
So
it's
what
not
happened
safe.
when you got it removed that quick?
Well, I just look stupid. So at Forbes, my lips look crazy. I know, also, it's just like, you guys, I know I look crazy. Shut up, okay? Let me just live. But that video haunts me because I hate it so much, the interview. And it was a 45-minute interview I did with Forbes that day. So there's so many clips to be taken from it. And anytime that is on my For You page, I know all the comments are like, oh my gosh, this is what happens when you get too much money and you just, it's so annoying. But people are very critical about my looks. They're critical about my body and just everything. And that definitely bothers me. For a long time, it was my boobs because from breastfeeding, I had 2 different size boobs. And people then when then they were just like bigger in the beginning. So people have a lot to say about the fact that they're small now because I stopped breastfeeding and the milk is, well, I kind of still do, but it's
How
not a
do
lot.
people not understand that? When you have a baby, your breasts
body
fill up with milk.
changes so
I know
much,
a lot of guys don't get it. Your boobs fill with milk
I know, and
to
it's
give the
milk
baby.
that's in there.
My boobs grew like 80 sizes and then they go back down
And then they go
after.
back down. And
I don't
it's
really
like,
know why we have to explain our boobs though. I don't really let's look at your dick.
I
Pull out your dick. Let's see your dick after a cold plunge, and then let's see, these guys.
Honestly, with how much they have
let's
to
see
say.
your dick after a cold shower.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not great.
Side note, I don't remember we were saying the other day, I don't know why guys would take girls on dates to go in the cold plunge. You know, like some guys like, let's do a cold sauna.
I don't
It's
prefer to be around you when you're in the cold plunge. I could use a break. You could go by yourself. I
it's
don't
not
need
my,
to see that.
It's not my strongest
But
look.
the point is,
Oh
all
my.
these guys that are commenting on all these girls' tits, it's like, show your penis.
What is it, guys commenting or is it women?
For sure. Women aren't sitting, maybe like 1 or 2 women
So it's
out of a
guys.
million. Yeah, guys have so much because they were like, she would have never gone as viral if it weren't for her boobs, because in my interview with Marco, I had big boobs. They were full of milk, you guys. I don't know what to tell you. It was milk boobs. It was not.
I'm sure he
it was
loved that.
not. No one.
But is there, in all fairness, maybe like 5% viral credibility for the boobs? For the guys, probably. If we're being honest, 5%.
No,
5%.
it would have gone just as
Let me tell
viral
you
in this
something.
shirt.
You just gave me a hot tip, because when I'm done having this baby, I'm going to sit on TikTok with my big old udders and try to go viral.
Do it.
Yours are big right now. Yours are like, what's
They're
going
big.
on?
They're going to get
Save us
bigger.
hungry.
It's called
They're-
milk.
Yeah, you're bringing.
I don't know. You have to explain this to people.
I know
Like,
it's crazy.
it's not like rocket science.
No, but it's like, like what if I came in like fully fluffed up with tight shorts for a video of ours? Like maybe we'd have a 5% chance of going more viral than if I
Why don't you try it? put a little elbow grease into it.
Let's put a note on that for the next social edit.
Yeah. Well, I'll show my huge milky boobs, and you can show your.
Do it.
Don't show it after a cold.
Hey,
comes out.
I'm still going viral with no boobs. That's much after.
Yeah,
so
she's
I
still
don't know.
going viral. That's not.
I've no
that's
doubt.
not just the shtick.
All right.
It's way more than boobs.
Okay,
it is.
But
I
a lot
think,
of people
I
have
think.
big boobs on the internet. By the way,
But I
It does
imagine
go
like
viral.
so how do you
True.
now manage all that? It's just like you kind of block it out, you don't read it, or you do read it and just
I mean, I heavily filter my own comments.
really?
Oh yeah.
Like
You
when
can't
you
say ugly. You can't say. You should
Oh, like
see
you just
my
put in the
filters.
words.
My comment filters are like ugly, Botox, filler. But sometimes it's words that are like, I can when I look at the comments and it's like they were trying to say something so innocent, but I had that word blocked because I knew that it could be paired with something that was mean.
Oh, I'm gonna filter on my account. Filter the word unfollowing and unsubscribing. That would be perfect.
That's
Then
just
then
do it. I
filter
have the
these people come in, they make this fucking announcement to me all the time, like unfollowing, unsubscribing. And I'm like, I don't need the just
they
go.
love it. Take it off. Don't give them that power.
I'm going
I
to.
give them less. So it's nice in my comments. I'm like, oh, you guys are so nice. And then I look at myself somewhere else and I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm actually like, I saw a TikTok of myself the other week, and I was scrolling on my For You page and I saw this video and I was like, oh fuck, like what's she gonna say about me? It's gonna be so mean. And it was her just being so nice and all the comments were nice and I was like, where am I right now? This
It's
is
jarring.
so sweet. It is weird because usually I go and I see myself and I'm like, or I get tagged in something and it's just people shitting on me. Like, when is she just gonna disappear and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, why are you? People are just so bitter. I'm like, they're jealous, they're bitter, they have nothing going for them, or they wouldn't be on the internet criticizing people. At no point in my life have I been on the internet criticizing people or announcing how much I hate people. Have inside thoughts. Have thoughts that you have with your friends. You don't need to announce it to me all the time.
People, what I've realized from it, they want acknowledgement, and they think the way to acknowledge is to spew hate. But to both of you guys, what I would say, because you said you're looking at unfollowing, unsubscribing, my advice
I'm just kidding.
is don't look at it.
Oh, that's silly. But I want to read the good stuff. And to be fair, it has helped me. My comments have helped me throughout all of this. And I think that they're like
the critiques have helped
yeah.
you.
Oh yeah. And
Okay.
I take a lot of constructive criticism from what I put out there, the comments. So it's like I get a lot of feedback from comments. And if I just stopped reading them, I wouldn't. I know when I'm something, especially in the beginning, when something I'm doing is getting old and I need to just pivot, I would not know that if it weren't for reading the comments. So yeah, I just have to read a couple about how hideous I am and how I never see my children. That's their favorite thing to say. I never see my kids.
It's so funny to me when people say that. They're like, when are you with your kids? I'm like, you see 5 minutes of my day on a 24-hour Instagram story.
When am
It's
I?
so
Yeah.
wild.
Have you guys ever thought that if I don't post my kids, then you're not seeing the times I'm with them? I'm not posting. I'm only posting when I'm not with them. So
I
of
also
course you're
don't
not
want
going
to
to
put my
see.
kids all over all the time. Like
Yeah.
no one needs to see like my kids like first step and like them going to the back. Like I don't need to like slap my kids all over so like the outside perception can
So
think
that
I'm
they
a good
can
mom.
see that I could sit there every day and show my morning routine, and I'm sure that people would be like, oh look, she's an amazing mom, or actually no, they would be like, how you did this isn't safe, and I don't like how you combed her hair there, and they would have so much to say. You'll never win, but that's my biggest hate comment I get, or the number one thing that I see in every comment section is she left her kid on her first birthday to interview Drake. That is I'm like, 3 days before her first birthday, I threw a huge birthday party for her because her birthday was not on a Saturday. I had all of our family there. She was 1. She's not going to remember that. My parents worked on so many of my birthdays, but that is people's biggest critique of me is that I left my daughter on her first birthday. Like, that makes me a bad mom because I interviewed Drake on my daughter's first birthday.
I would interview Drake on my daughter's first birthday and throw a party separately. Go ahead and judge that. I'm sorry. Like,
I don't see anything.
If I get to
you
interview
can't
Drake,
convince me that.
and by the way, my daughter, when she's like 21, would be like, I'm so happy you did that. You can celebrate the birthday a different day.
I would not leave my daughter for Drake on her birthday. Just so you
You
know,
wouldn't.
Zaza, when you're older and you hear this, your
You wouldn't.
mother would leave you, but your father would never
You
leave
wouldn't.
you. No,
You've never worked on your birthday?
No, he's lying.
No, I'm father of the year, number
No,
one.
he's-
Okay,
he's not.
okay.
He's
Of course. But no, listen, I think.
You left our kids on Easter. You
Oh,
booked
no.
a trip on Easter. It was like Towns' first Easter. I had the eggs ordered off Amazon. Zaz's dress was there. I had a bonnet. I had a ruffle bag to collect eggs.
To be fair, I didn't realize that Easter switches days every year.
Well,
And last year, it
Don't-
really confused me.
until everyone's perfect and their grass is the greenest and everything's amazing in their yard, don't judge next door.
Yeah. Well, it's been tough because I weigh how I parent based on the feedback from the internet. And, depending on what the internet says about how I am as a parent is how I get through the days, Like,
Every person that commented that would leave their daughter on their first birthday
I know.
to interview Drake.
I
It's an opportunity to take your career to the next level for
Yeah.
you to make money in the long run. It's
I
called
know.
long run strategy. Look it up.
it's truly, even if I worked at McDonald's, it's work. If I have to work on her birthday, it is. She's also one. It's what part about she's one do they not? They're saying first birthday. I would imagine they know first means one. One means they don't have any memories. She can't tell me what she did. The birthday that I spent all the money on throwing for her, that she has no idea. We have a lot of pictures. She's going to look back at those photos, and when she thinks of her first birthday, she will think of those photos. But for some reason, people are like, oh my God, they really think they're doing something with that comment.
I think that you just shouldn't look at the comments right when you wake up and right before you go to bed. I think you
That's
should
smart.
create a space, at least if
Yes.
you're going to look. I get why you have to
Yeah.
look. You have to pivot your content.
Yeah.
Like, just pick a window of
Don't
time in the
do it
day when you
before-
want to be miserable. Just like one window of
Michael
time.
wakes up sometimes and looks at Twitter
Oh.
and then goes to bed and looks at Twitter. And that's
Yeah, but it doesn't-
ending your
but-
day with negative
No,
news.
but I don't get as okay. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't get as affected by the things that are
I'm
said.
really sensitive.
And I
Are
think
you?
well,
Not to comment. I'm sensitive to energy. Like if I don't want to watch the news before I'm going into my dream state to do my strategy
No, you
session
know,
while I sleep.
Here's the honest truth, and this will just come with time. I think like the longer you do something where you put yourself out in front of people and you're doing something different than what the normal or average person does, like you're creating some kind of show or you're doing some kind of creative outlet or you're just saying things publicly that most people won't say publicly because that's what you do on the internet. Like that comes with a certain kind of criticism and pushback, and that's always going to happen. As a matter of fact, like it's actually going to get bigger and bigger and bigger the longer.
She has gotten it on a
Yeah, and
massive
you
scale
know,
Yeah.
very quickly.
But the point is like you over time, it just starts to mean less and less to you
Yeah.
because it's like how many more mean things can you hear from somebody
Yeah.
to the point where like you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you just kind of your skin gets thicker and thicker and thicker.
Who was your most awkward guest? Because I know like the awkwardness is. Who did you think was awkward?
I don't know. It's such an uncomfortable. I'm naturally uncomfortable everywhere because I have just bad social anxiety. So naturally going into you don't feel awkward doing an interview. It's so weird. I guess you're not getting into a character really either where it's just a weird environment. I'm like snapping into this like blunt, dry personality that I'm trying not to smile or anything. And it's like, okay, all right, ready? And then immediately it's like, welcome to the Really Good Podcast. And it's always awkward. And then the most awkward part ever is when you're done. You stop and you're like, all right, that's a wrap. And then everybody's like, okay, let's be normal now. And like, it's such an awkward thing to do that every single episode is a little bit awkward.
And after, has there been anyone that you like the awkwardness is dissipated and you've been able to be friends with them and it's fine?
I would say most of like 99, I don't even know, maybe 100%. I feel like every person I interview, I become somewhat of friends with afterward.
So it's fine after it's
Yeah,
over.
yeah. No, it's just the actual act of doing it is so, it's just uncomfortable for both of us. We're sitting there and it's like people are watching. We're usually doing some sort of activity or something. And it's just, yeah. So, but I definitely afterward talk to everyone. It's normal. Before we usually talk and it's normal. It's just that shift on where you're a bit
And
weird.
do they have any kind of prep in terms of the
They've
direction
got
you're
to.
going to take it in?
They're not gonna, Mark Cuban's not going to just go on a random podcast.
Well, they see the episodes prior. They kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, either they pick the location or I pick the location or someone on my team throws out an idea for the location. They know that it's just going to be an awkward, uncomfortable, but they also do know that they have final cut, and I never put anything out there that the guest is uncomfortable. I think that's why I also become friends with. It's not something where I'm trying to catch anyone saying something. I'm never going to try to go viral off of somebody saying something. I know how uncomfortable it can be going on other people's podcasts or doing interviews where you have no control over it. And in mine,
I know you signed that release of ours. I
didn't sign anything actually.
I'm just kidding.
I know how uncomfortable it can be, so I try to be very okay. I don't know. You do whatever part you want to take out. If you want to take out all of it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you make the
fine
person
with
feel
me.
comfortable.
Yeah, so they know when they go in that they can be free to do whatever they want because they can take out anything they want to. And that means, even if that means they're like, I don't like how I said yeah right there, or I don't like how I looked like this, I'm like, all right, we'll cut it. I will sit there and make sure that everything that they want.
Do you cut it?
No.
You have someone cutting it.
Yeah, but we use, what is it called? Frame. Where,
Okay.
yeah, so they can go
see.
in, they go in and put in
Pick
their
what they want.
notes, and then my editor will go in and take out whatever they say.
That's unique.
It's
It's a different kind of format because like here we're just like shooting the shit and having a conversation, and again like we don't try to make anyone uncomfortable either, but I imagine in that format, like for the people going, it's just different for those people as well. It's like a different kind of interview for
Well, I
them.
think that's why I get people that don't really do interviews, because they don't. I get it. I don't. As someone who's done a lot of interviews now, or done podcasts and done other, I am like, oh my God, I get why people don't like doing that, or why they don't really want to go on a traditional press run, because it's intimidating. And then also because a lot of people try to catch you saying stuff that.
Yeah, it's funny with like that format. So I think you can get people's story and you can get a lot of what is quote unquote press worthy without trying to take people out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, and you don't have to talk about their breakups or their anything if they're not
their kids, their families,
yes,
things
exactly.
that are just inappropriate.
I only talk about what they bring up, and I never try to pry into anything that I think, unless I have talked to them beforehand and I'm like, hey, are you okay with this conversation? And then we'll kind of go there. But sometimes I just take whole conversations out about certain things, and that's why you can be more comfortable when we do mine too, because it's which is funny, it's awkward, but it's also comfortable, and people say that I show a side of people that people don't often get to see. But you can say whatever, you can get really into the conversation, because if you want to cut all of that out, it's gonna go.
Yeah, we always say like people, you need to have vulnerable conversations or else people tune out. Like nobody wants somebody to come on and just talk about how great they are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you don't have to do something
That
to
makes someone
cause harm.
Yes.
Yeah, like you don't need to, like, especially like I get super fired up when people start going at people's personal lives and their family, especially their kids. Like whenever I see any of these clickbait publications talking about people's children or how they are as parents, like that stuff just bothers me, because there's so much more you can get from an individual and their story without going after people who are kind of like innocent in that story, whether it's their family or their kids.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's just like, and I also think it's just lazy journalism.
Yeah.
In a way, where it's like,
and
that's
it's
the
just,
stuff.
it's boring. Nobody needs to know all of those things that, I don't know.
Quick break to talk about Just Thrive. Lauren and I do a him and her newsletter. And in that newsletter, I was talking about the supplements that I've taken most consistently for years. One of them is Just Thrive's probiotic. It is the only probiotic clinically proven to arrive in your gut 100% alive. Many of you may remember that years ago, I did a blood test where I was trying to get all my information to figure out what I was deficient in. The results fortunately came back all great, all green, all positive, all great across the board, but something to me still felt off. Sure enough, I did a gut test and my gut was absolutely obliterated. So I started taking the Just Thrive probiotic after talking to the founders on this show, and I've since healed my gut. See, most probiotics die in your harsh stomach acid before they can do much good, but Just Thrive's probiotic does not. It is one of the strongest probiotics on the market. We've had the founders on this episode so many times. Did you know that if you suffer from allergies and you continue to suffer from them, it's likely because your gut is not functioning properly and you don't have the ability to have your immune system kick in and fight those allergies. So whether you want to feel better, boost your immune system, heal those allergies, Just Thrive Probiotic can help you do so. Of course, we have an incredible offer for our listeners. Visit justthrivehealth.com and use code SKINNY90 for 20% off your first 90-day bottle. That's like getting a month for free. That's justthrivehealth.com, promo code SKINNY90. Here's to your best health with Just Thrive. Visit justthrivehealth.com and use code SKINNY90 for 20% off your first 90-day bottle. That's like getting a month for free. That's justthrivehealth.com, promo code SKINNY90. Here's to your best health with Just Thrive. The Skinny Confidential Him and Her podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Think about all the people you admire, your favorite leaders, mentors, idols. They don't have all the answers, but they do know when to ask questions or seek support from their community. In a society that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better when we have a support system behind us. This is why Lauren and I love BetterHelp so much. We've talked to so many high performers on this show over close to a decade of doing it. And one common thread that we see with so many of them is that they use and utilize therapy. Therapy can be such a source of support for any area of your life, whether you want to improve your relationships, your mindset around your business and your career, want to be a better parent. Talking about your issues, talking about your problems with somebody who's a professional can be a total game changer. What I love about BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties, and you can easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. Long gone are the days of having to drive into an office and sit in a waiting room. You can do this right from the comfort of your own home, cost effectively. Of course, we have an offer for our listeners and viewers. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/skinny today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/skinny.
I take my prenatal so seriously, and it's the same brand that I've used for all my pregnancies, with Zaza, with Towns, and now with this new baby, and it's by Ritual. And the reason I like this brand is because not only is it formulated with clean, high-quality key ingredients in their bioavailable forms, but most importantly, it has methylated folate, which you want when you're pregnant. It really helps you recover after pregnancy. They also are really focused on the baby's brain development. So it has omega-3 DHA, and that supports the fetal brain development. I also like, this is so random, but it also helps support tube development. So everything is really designed with your baby and you in mind. Ritual does such a good job of making things traceable, so you can go on their site and you can see where everything comes from. They've recently also launched a skin supplement. So if you're into skin, you can shop that. And if you're not pregnant, you have to check out their Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin. That's the other one. I take that vitamin when I'm not pregnant. So I'm just a fan of their supplements in general. They're vegan, non-GMO, gluten, and major allergen free. You can't go wrong. Everything can arrive automatically to your door monthly, so you never run out. Start a ritual that's backed by science without the BS. Ritual is offering 25% off your first month. Just go to ritual.com/skinny. That's ritual.com/skinny for 25% off.
For people that are doing or trying to follow on a similar path that you've done now for your career, what are things you wish that you knew earlier? Like, you've obviously now built a brand and you're building a business around everything that you've created. Are there things that, looking back, you would have done differently, or you would caution people against as they start to potentially build a career for themselves?
I mean, I think I did it in a way that I wouldn't change anything. I never put too much money into it. I didn't go out of my way. I know a lot of people will start podcasts and kind of throw money at it and be like, I never did that. My first episode was recorded at a little studio I found in LA, and I would drive to LA and film inside of there. It was $300 to film it. I think that it's just good if you have an idea. It's the same thing with if you have an idea for a product, just to kind of test it. That's what I did. And I think use your resources. I would ask all of my mutuals to be guests on my podcast when it first started. I was like, anybody I could think of, just do you want to come on? Can I interview you?
Mutuals meaning people that were following.
Yeah. That we maybe had 1 or 2 conversations on the app itself before. But yeah, I was just asking anyone. I think just also putting yourself out there. I have always put myself out there, and I'm not afraid of rejection. And I think that that's something that's huge, is just not being afraid of rejection. Shoot your shot. I've asked so many people. I still get guests in a similar way. I mean, it's easier, obviously, now I have people who help me book. But if there's someone I'm like, oh, I would really love to interview, I send a DM. And I think just back to what I said earlier, not being afraid to look stupid. I was not afraid to look stupid. I wasn't afraid to look desperate. I was paying people to get people on there. I used to do things like that on TikTok all the time. I'd be like, trying to get brands to comment, or just, just doing anything I could, because it's like you have to be okay with looking stupid and embarrassing yourself.
I think one thing you've done really good throughout this whole episode is exposure therapy. Like, you put yourself out there, then you would delete it if it didn't go. And
Yeah.
Put yourself out. It's like you keep doing it. You start to get like almost like numb, where you just don't give
where
a
you
shit.
don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I know people used to call me out for it. They'd be like, why have you posted the same video 10 times today? And I'm like, because I know this video can be viral, and I'm going to keep trying it until it goes viral. And you guys can just shut up. And I would make a story that would be like, if you see me post the same thing 10 times, be quiet. Don't
Was it
say
like
anything.
a timing thing, or just certain people that it reached? Like what?
No, just changing the caption, changing moving it around, cutting off a few seconds, maybe starting it on a different word. When I knew a video had potential to be viral, I just had to. But sometimes I would be so confident a video had the potential to go viral, and I'd post it 10 times, and then it would not work, and I would be like, all right, well.
That's super interesting though. So you would take, like, say it was a 60-second clip,
Mm-hmm.
and you would post, and if it didn't go viral, you would go change the caption and try that, or then you would cut like the format up, but it would be the same exact
Yeah, it'd be
piece
the
of
same
content.
video, but I've now altered it 10 times.
We need to take notes on that. That's like a strategist. I feel like you're like a strategist. That's the right word. Maybe a marketing strategist.
No, because like when I listen to that, I imagine what most people do is they take the time, they create that, it doesn't work, and they're like, man, it didn't work, and then they just stop trying with it. And it's like all that effort's
people,
gone.
that's 99% of people.
I know. I had a friend, and she posted this one video on TikTok, and she didn't have she doesn't have a lot of followers or anything. And I watched the video, and I was like, delete that right now. And she was like, why? And I was like, that can go viral. I promise you it can go viral. And it wasn't. It was like it was up for 3 days. It had no views. And I was like, delete it, because I want to edit it and put it back up. And it's at 7 million views now. And I knew watching that video that it could go viral. I know when something
So okay, in that instance,
capable.
what
Tell
was
us
it?
about the video.
So it was my friend Ashley.
Hello, Ashley.
She posted a video giving her dad she's an esthetician, so she was giving her dad a facial, and in it he's telling a story, and I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is such a good story. I just knew when I watched that video it had the potential to go viral, so I had her take it down. And I think that what I changed was the caption, and it was something. I have my phone somewhere.
Yeah,
It was something I think that I had changed it to say, what did I change it to? I don't know what it was to begin with, to be honest, but I think maybe she definitely just had like a different caption, and I went in and I just put on,
Shit, we need to try
So it's
different,
like is the
different
like
captions, Michael.
is the core of it that you just knew that it was a solid piece of content?
yeah, so this was the video. Oh, I changed it to giving my dad a facial, and that's it. That's all I changed. I don't know. That's it.
What did it
'Cause
say before that?
I don't think it had a caption.
So it was just okay.
Wait, the caption, you're talking about the thing on top of the video, not.
Oh yeah, sorry. What is that called? Yeah,
The on-screen
I
text.
call it.
Got it. Okay, I thought you
caption,
meant the
but-
caption. Like,
No,
wait.
well, I'll do that sometimes too.
Okay.
But yeah, I knew it was, and look, it's like
Ooh, it looks good though.
a great facial.
Yeah, that's a great facial. That's a
Um,
great facial.
No, but it's super
It did.
interesting because like I think about like the amount of effort that it takes to go and create any of this stuff,
mhm.
and then just waste it
And
and
then
have to
just
do that
to
again.
waste it because you're like, oh, that was silly, and
Mhm.
nobody watched it. And it's like that video very well could have sat at nothing, but I think sometimes, right? Like this is a good piece of content. You are going to, I need the algorithm to pick it up. I know people, if it got on the right people's For You page, they would want to see this. And it's getting it on that person's For You page, which if that means saying something stupid, right? Like, I don't know. So my example that I told you where I deleted it so many times and it ended up getting 20 million views on my like 10th time. It had no views. And by no views, it had like 100K, 50K. And I was like, that's so stupid. I know this could get 20 million. It was a video I did with Michael Bublé in the very beginning of my, like maybe a year into my career on
That's
TikTok.
A good one, Michael Bublé.
And then it wouldn't go viral though. I could not get it to go viral. I could only get it to get a couple 100,000 views. And I just kept changing. I changed the caption to something stupid. And it was like, I can't believe I spent $1 million on this meet and greet. So just a lie that made it go viral. And it was like, people in the comments were like, oh my God, she spent that much money to see him. I'm like, you guys think I have $1 million to spend on a meet and greet for Michael Bublé? Like, what are you guys, crazy? But like 20 million views from not going viral at all, just to changing that, got it.
The overlay or the caption? You said that.
I don't know. What, the little bottom thing?
The bottom thing. So the caption.
Caption.
Yeah, I don't know. Lexi, what do you refer to as the one on screen? I would call that like the caption. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I would call it a caption and like a
probably wrong.
description. I don't know. Like that's the description.
Don't ask me.
Oh, so I call the one on the screen the caption
then what do
and
you
the
call
one
the bottom
description. It's a
Oh, yeah.
description of the video. Nobody's like reading that
She was
first.
right.
That's
Don't
gonna go
listen
to your
me.
eyes.
You're right. Don't
I'm just like, your eyes are gonna go to. That's what I would
Different
refer
generation.
to it
What the hell do we know, Lauren?
How does the mom version of you differ than to your social media? Like, what's the differences of how you are as a mom and how you are as a content creator?
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty chilled and laid back in all aspects of my life. I'm pretty chill and laid back mom. I'm research based. So I guess it's the same where everything me and my kid's dad do is research based, and I'm okay with constructive criticism. I don't know, I think it's pretty similar across all boards. Obviously they don't get like a stale version of me where I'm at home and I'm like, I'm not gonna smile, guys. They don't know that side of me, but yeah, I'm just like chill, laid back mom. I don't know. But I'm also very well researched in all of the chill things I do. Because I believe that it's to be best for them.
Oh, you mean like you're like looking at what's in their diapers, like cleaning supplies? What do you mean? Research.
Oh, I mean like parenting
Google?
styles
Got it.
no. So their
I thought
dad
you were
reads
gonna
a
say,
lot
like, you're
of
specific
books.
with ingredients, like maybe like what you
No,
feed them.
oh, see,
No, you're not talking
yes,
about.
I
Okay.
am, but not to an extreme. I feel like I'm not gonna stop them from eating anything in the world. It's so hard, like if they go to Disneyland, they're gonna eat a churro
You gotta
and a
just
bag of
detach.
Doritos.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I'm gonna have to ask AI what this means later. I talk to my AI and it tells me everything now.
Okay.
What means?
What research-based parenting means.
Yeah. What is?
It's just
explain.
where you research.
Ask my
What do you
AI.
mean? That's truly
She's
like
saying
it's
parenting styles. Like
yeah. You're
some
like
parents
how
are gentle. What's it
Hello,
called?
I'm sitting with Bobbi Althoff. What does research-based parenting mean? Please answer me the same way Bobbi Althoff would.
How can that content go viral? What he just said. What caption should we put on it?
I have to see it.
Please
once
answer
it's
me now.
Clipped.
Is there anything that we can clip in this episode and
I'm
put
sure.
a caption? Maybe you guys can tell me what we should clip so we could go
Just
viral.
make fun of me. Call me ugly.
No,
No,
I don't think
I
you're ugly
swear-
at all.
Okay, that
By
doesn't
the
mean
way, anyone that's calling her ugly needs to like figure it out. What is that? A troll with no picture?
And I'm telling you, do you want to go viral? They love to call me ugly, so call me ugly. Look, I'm giving you my
are literally
permission
the
right
opposite
now.
Of ugly.
I'm giving you be like I sat
Wide,
down with
pretty
the
eyebrows,
ugliest guest I've
really
ever had. Do you want to go viral?
No,
or
I don't
not?
think I could do that. I don't think.
What
I
is
could
it?
call
What
you
is
ugly.
what's the challenge?
What if I said the prettiest guest we've ever had?
What's the
No,
challenge?
that's you
What's the challenge?
never want to do that because then that's just gonna. You're
Okay.
now inviting all the comments to
Let's-
shit on me.
let's do a-
That's what you're doing by
let's do a
saying
test.
that. They're
What's-
gonna sit there and be like, "You're not the prettiest. What the fuck is that about?" No,
What's
you
the
say the
test?
ugliest, and then you'll get the guys who think I'm ugly, but then there'll be like girls that are like, "That's so rude."
So if I said, you are the ugliest guest I've ever spoken to on this show,
yeah,
that's gonna go viral.
that's gonna do it.
You're not. Trust me, there's been some
But guess
uggos
what?
on this show.
So if
And
I
that's
say
gonna-
prettiest, it's not going to get any.
No,
pickup.
it will. It will. I'm just saying that you go ahead, say that. Actually, all the people are going to immediately be tearing me apart in the comments. Is all I'm saying.
But that's the worst.
Bobbi, welcome to the show. The most beautiful, gorgeous, prettiest guest that has ever sat on the Him and Her show.
No, that was too.
Too proppy.
Yeah, you gotta like make
Well,
it seem.
you don't know-
Be like,
Casual.
look at me and just be
Alright.
like,
Wait, should I like relax?
no, just be
my
like,
face?
honestly, you have to be the prettiest guest I've ever had. I'm like, I'm sounding like I'm getting you to say this because I don't believe this. I have
gotta
no
turn
reason.
my
She's just
my
saying
like
this.
radio voice off. Honestly, you are the most beautiful guest we've ever had on the show.
But now followed up with everyone else was really ugly or something. Just make it really mean. It has to be a little bit shocking, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, are you trying to go viral or
Yeah.
not? Right?
Why not? Everyone else we've had on the show is really ugly.
Well, don't make it so you have to cut the clip, start it over.
You have to start the whole thing
my
over.
God, you guys, this is a lot of work. I'm sweating.
We're gonna leave all this in just so that
Yeah.
You are the most beautiful guest we've ever had on the show. And honestly, everyone else that we've had on has been really ugly.
That was so weird of you to say. Why would you? Don't compare me to your other guests, please. I don't really want to do that right now. See, there you go.
Yeah.
We have had Cindy
That is
Crawford
your-
on the show.
That's crazy. You're gonna get Cindy.
that's the
I'm
but is
sorry.
that like the thing that they come after you the most for is the looks?
It's
I
no,
feel like
it's
if that's-
everything. Oh, it's everything. They love to hate. They love to hate.
But I feel like if
It's
that's
the-
the worst thing, like
No,
you-
it's my personality is annoying. I'm annoying. Why am I still trying? I'm a horrible mom.
At least they're talking about you.
I honestly, yeah, because when it's too quiet, I'm like, excuse me, where are my
You know-
haters at? Now I'm falling
Yes,
off.
you're-
you know what
crickets.
it is, and
It's
this is gonna
good.
maybe like ruin some of the shtick for you, is that what you do, I know, is not effortless, but it looks effortless and it looks like it just happened by
Yeah.
accident. And so people look at that and they're
Yeah.
like, well, this is not fair that this person is just having
For
all
sure,
of this
yeah.
by accident.
I do think that is a large part. A lot of people think, I mean, that was when that whole industry plant rumor started. People just thought, oh, this girl woke up, got handed this opportunity, and why can't that happen to me? And it's like, don't get me wrong, I've gotten lucky a lot, but I've also put in so much work to get lucky, and I put myself in places to get lucky all the time. You guys aren't doing that. It's not as easy as if I just stop right now, right? And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna let my podcast just kind of like, I'm just gonna do the bare minimum. I will be so irrelevant in 3 minutes. I have to keep working towards gaining relevance, staying relevant. Anyone you see that stays in the spotlight they're working at it every day.
Let's talk about Hiya Health. Typical children's vitamins are basically candy in disguise, filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and other gummy additives growing kids should never eat. That's why Hiya created a superpowered chewable vitamin. While many other children's vitamins are filled with 5 grams of sugar, which is known to contribute to a variety of health issues, Hiya fills in the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment our kids need with a yummy taste they love. Before I jump into all the great benefits and ingredients in a Hiya vitamin, I want to talk about how our children every single morning wake up. They're so excited to ask for their Hiya vitamins. We have this little container, they put their little hands in there, they pick out the color that they want, and they look forward to it every single day, which brings Lauren and I so much joy because they're excited about being healthy. It's formulated with the help of pediatricians and nutritional experts. Hiya is pressed with a blend of 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and many others to help support the immune system, energy, brain function, mood, concentration, teeth, bones, and much more. These are all the supplements and vitamins that we talk about for adults on this show. Why would you not want to give them to your kids as well? It's non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, and everything else you can imagine. And every single batch is third-party tested for heavy metals and microbials in a qualified GMP-compliant lab using scientifically validated testing methods. And of course, we've worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hiyahealth.com/skinny. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to hiyahealth.com/skinny and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults.
I am a big bed fan. I'm not a rotter. I like to marinate. Like I like to do stuff in bed. So I like to eat in bed or wear a sheet mask or work in bed. I have like a tray that I use. I just love my bed. I like to do stuff while I'm in bed. I'm going to be that older woman in a robe with a tray with like the newspapers in it. And the sheets that I use have to be soft and 100% organic. I also like cotton. They have to be cotton. They have to feel breathable, buttery soft, and that is where Boll & Branch comes in. They have these sheets. They're 100% organic cotton. And what I've noticed is not only are they luxurious and soft, they put you in like an instant relaxation mode. So you fall asleep faster. They're so delicious. So much so the brand is so proud of their sheets that you can discover the difference with Boll & Branch's 30-night guarantee. So they'll basically guarantee you softer, more breathable, more buttery soft sheets with every wash. They just get it when it comes to sheets. The ones that I would start with are the signature sheets. They're best selling. These are the ones that are really breathable and they're really going to set the foundation for a better sleep. I like the more neutral colors. My kids love them. Boll & Branch products are made different so you can sleep better at night. Now it's your chance to change the way you sleep with Boll & Branch. Get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com/skinny. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/skinny. You save 15%. Exclusions apply. See site for details. Let's talk about real food for a hot minute. We all know we should be eating more real whole food. But seriously, who has time to make sauces and dressings from scratch? Not me. I do not mess around with my ketchup because so many ketchups are filled with sugar and corn syrup and all this stuff. And I use ketchup every day. I like it on my eggs. My kids like it on their burger. We just are like a ketchup-y family. And so I use Primal Kitchen. I like their ketchup because it's unsweetened. It's made with real organic California grown tomatoes. There's no high fructose corn syrup. It has no cane sugar, no artificial sweeteners. It's just the best. If you're on Primal Kitchen, I would also get their mayo. I love their mayo. I put it on Zaza's turkey sandwich all the time. It's so good on a piece of sourdough. It's made from organic cage-free eggs and avocado oil. It's great on wraps, potato salad. I even use it for egg salad. I just love Primal Kitchen's condiments. Primal Kitchen has nailed the perfect combo of high quality ingredients and delicious flavors, so your meals will taste as real and homemade as it gets. So if you're all about real food, but you need a little help making it exciting, you need Primal Kitchen's condiments and sauces. They're made with real ingredients we love. They're your secret weapon for making easy dinners of just protein and veggies taste amazing. Head to primalkitchen.com/skinny. You save 20% off your next online order with code SKINNY at checkout. That's PRIMAL kitchen.com/skinny and code SKINNY. Primal Kitchen products are also available in stores nationwide, so visit primalkitchen.com/skinny to find a location near you.
I forgot that they thought you were an industry plant. I saw that. So they thought that someone from Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, and then you know what I did actually? I did an interview with Belvin, Jay Belvin.
Okay.
And in it, I was in character and I go, yeah, I got a call. It was so dumb. I was like, yeah, I got a call actually one day from the industry. I don't even know what the fuck the rumor is, like, or what the idea is of that. But I was like, yeah, I got a call one day and they said, give me your firstborn. I had something so stupid, like, give me your firstborn child in exchange for fame. And that's what I did. The comments were like, I fucking told you guys. I told you that's what happened. And I was like, oh, you guys. So yeah, it happened. They're like, she sold her soul. I'm like, okay.
So people actually thought like Hollywood.
I guess, is that what an industry plant is? I think it's.
Why
I think actually I take it.
Maybe I'm an industry.
Maybe
plant.
I am. No.
Hey, I told you not to talk about this stuff.
It's me. I did it. Well, I think what it is when someone spots you maybe and starts putting a lot of money into you, right? Like in the industry, they're like, oh, I see a star rising. Let me throw a lot of money into you. I think that is, from what I gather, what it kind of is. But at no point did anybody throw large amounts of money or any amount of money at me. I have been
You're
doing
like, if
this
I was
with
a plant, I'm missing the money part.
I'm missing the part where they just,
Yeah.
I'm like, the money that I've had, I've worked for, I've gotten, don't get me wrong, again, I always have to add that because I know what people are going to say. They're like, you have the easiest job. This is so much easier than a 9-to-5. This is so much easier than anything else, but it doesn't just come to me either. I still have to work for it.
She's not an industry plant, you guys. I know that's going to be hard
But we don't know that
to
one.
contend.
To be honest,
I don't think
we
she
don't
is. I'm really good at like.
I mean, we just met
You're
her.
really good at reading people.
Yeah, I
You're
am.
just really good at like sussing out plants.
No,
Yeah.
I think I would know if it was a plant. I'm just telling you, I would know. I want to tell the internet, I would know if she was a plant and she's not.
Lauren will establish herself as an expert in any field at any given notice.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for me.
It's a confidence that is
I'm
important.
multifaceted. Like, what do you want me to say about it?
She does
You
it.
should go work for the government.
Okay,
She does
I
it
have
all.
to ask you about your beauty tips.
My beauty tips.
I know.
After you called me ugly. It's
What's
crazy.
your hair, skin, nails, wellness? What are your tips?
My skin. Well, I don't know, guys. I have acne, so I don't know if you want tips from me. People are always like, your skin's so clear. I'm like, you guys, this is how filtered TikTok is. It's good sometimes. I will say for like
I
1
think
week
it looks
out of
great.
it's okay right now. But this is I have dealt with acne since I was 12 years old, and on a good day I can like have, under 10 zits on my face. That's a great day for me. I'm like, oh my God, I can count them. That's amazing. But my beauty tip is like, I haven't figured it out yet for skin. But I do wear sunscreen every day because I'm not going to age at least. I will just have acne. You have anything. Your skin is just perfect.
Well, I really work at my skin. Like a nut.
Do you?
Like a nut.
What do you do?
I get facials once a week.
I'll be back in like
I
an
go
hour.
every 2 weeks.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing it.
I do everything. Oh, I should not have a single zit on my face. I try everything. I take all the vitamins. I drink all the spearmint tea. But I think I'm finally turning is it a new leaf? Is that the saying?
It is.
I'm turning a new leaf on my skin. It's starting to become healthier. I'm just following so many things and actually staying with them. I started taking spironolactone and I'm like taking that every day. Started tretinoin on my skin. I'm like, I'm not playing with it. But
What are the products that you like right now?
right now, I feel like I mostly use Jan Marini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good brand.
Mhm.
Really good brand.
I would say that's mainly what I use. And then the La Roche stuff, like their lotion.
I feel
and
like you're
stuff.
doing everything right.
Oh, I am. Tell my pores that. When
I
they-
need to get you an ice roller, though. We have one for you. You need an ice roller.
Is
Because
this
an ice
a
roller,
little-
especially if you ever have a pimple, it's so cooling.
okay.
We have one for you.
I'll take all the free things.
Yeah, okay.
I love.
We have
I'll
some. We have some
never-
free things for you.
I'll never be above.
I have some
getting
balls
free
for your
stuff.
face.
What the fuck is that?
They're balls that you put on your face in the morning and they contour your face.
That's so interesting.
I have some mouth tape for you.
I have that at home. I've never used it.
You gotta use
At
it.
no point do I just want to like stop being able to talk at night.
Oh, you've never lived with my husband. Are you kidding me?
What?
Yeah.
You don't want to just shut it off? Like a do not
No.
disturb?
Well, when I have like the nights my kids are with me, they'd sleep in my bed. So
Yeah, but they go to bed before you.
yeah, and then they fall asleep. We fall asleep at the same time,
Oh.
8:30.
My
We
daughter's
are
first
out.
words when I open my eyes is, Mom, can you take your mouth tape off?
Oh my gosh, no, I can't imagine. I fall asleep with my kids. I don't know how parents make it out after that, I've never been one that can make it out after bedtime. I've never
Like go out to the club?
no, out of the room, out
Oh.
of the bed.
Yeah, I'm a 7:30, 8:30
Yeah,
kind of gal.
and as soon as
I'm done.
my kids fall asleep, I don't care. That's why I have to wash my face before I start putting them to sleep because I'm so good at putting them to sleep. I put myself to sleep. Those stories, they just hit. The songs I sing, they just get me too.
I get it. When my kids fall asleep, I'm like, ah. And then my husband's like, did you hear about what happened in I'm like, what are you talking about?
I like to chat.
Yeah,
in
so
the
I
morning.
need
I'm a chatter.
I need my mouth tape.
I like to chat.
Gotta have my mouth tape. It's
You got
like
it.
a must.
Okay,
I can't be
will never
talking.
try it, but
I'm like, I'm sorry. Call a friend.
No, it's good.
The
Sometimes.
mouth tape?
Yeah. Sometimes then I just talk and then you just sit there and sometimes better. Sometimes
It's fine with me. I need earplugs. Okay. What can we expect for you? Like, what's the next chapter? You said your second series comes out. Is that what you call it? A series?
no season.
Season. Your second season comes out.
Fourth, but yeah,
Fourth.
yeah.
nice. Good research, Lauren. Great research. Good job.
Ah, guys, I thought you said your second.
No,
Your
that'll
fourth
be one
season
really long season I've had
of your
It's just
show
like-
comes out on Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. So what can we expect?
A lot of, I'm trying to go back more to the original, which was just a bit more of I feel like I got out of character for a minute there for a few episodes. I was just being, I don't know, I just got out of character. I started to get, I guess, I don't know what the word would be, but insecure of the character because of comments, right? Because they're like, oh, that person's rude, she's whatever. But then I realized that's what grew my page, and that's what is fun to do. And it's obviously not me, and the guest is in on it. So I've gotten back into just being more blunt again and just having it be more of a character and cutting it down to those. So if I'm editing a podcast and there's like too much of us being normal, I'm like, cut. That can't go in.
I think that's good. You're owning the character. And let me give you the reverse. They're like, she's so nice. Or they don't say anything.
Mm.
You like want to like spark a reaction in that.
Yeah.
I think you should be as mean as you want.
You guys know that I live in fear of like saying the wrong thing that could get clipped wrong. But because I'm like, I don't want to have an opinion that people disagree with ever, which is hard. But
where can everyone find you? Slide into your DMs, flirt with you.
Oh, I love this. Where can they slide into my DMs?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like everyone meets people like that. That's how I'm gonna meet my future.
You're gonna slide into someone's DM.
No, they're gonna slide into mine.
Good. You like the guy to court you.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we're pretty rare. It's slim pickings out there right now. Guys don't think they have to court girls anymore. I don't agree.
I feel like that's common, right? Guys slide into people's DMs. I don't know. That's
she's
how I
saying
imagine
she wants to be courted and she wants guys to slide in her
I've turned off DMs from people without verified accounts because I was like, I don't.
Oh, so they have to be verified.
Yes, but anybody can be, right?
Don't you just verify now by paying to be like a yeah.
But I just eliminated all the mean people, like people who are generally are like DMing mean things. Do not pay the amount.
What if there was a guy that has 100 followers with barely any posts? That's amazing. That's not verified.
Then I might just have to turn that feature off for him.
You never know.
It's just he'll have to find me some other way.
You never know.
I don't leave my house ever, so I don't know how besides
I don't know.
Someone.
The DMs I feel like will be hot for you.
Do you?
Yeah, I feel like your DMs are hot. Like I feel like there's a lot going on in the DMs.
Do you?
Yeah, she can't give a straight face. Yeah, for sure. Huh.
I just feel like that's the new age of
tell him to get in line.
Get in line, guys.
Get in line.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Bobbi, you're great on a mic. Come back anytime you want. I'm going to get you some mouth tape and some
Did you just read that?
No. Did it look like I did?
Yeah,
that fully. I was like, we wrote that?
No. I didn't.
Yeah, we wrote, Bobbi, you're great.
I was like, do you have a script?
No. Just
Thank you for coming in and doing this. Congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Season 4, go check it out.
Do I get all of that stuff?
You can have whatever you want. Let's get you all kinds of stuff. You said in the beginning that you wanted free stuff that influencers have, so I'm going to make you a big goodie bag.
Oh, I would love a big goodie bag. Thank you.